Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. Tonight, we bring you a roundup of key global developments that are making headlines. Tensions in the Middle East escalate as Iran seizes two cargo vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, sparking fears of a wider conflict. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts to ease tensions between the US and Iran hit a snag. In Europe, Ukraine-Russia war rages on, with a devastating drone attack on Kyiv. And amidst this turmoil, leaders are scrambling for a peaceful resolution. Let's dive into these stories and more. A disturbing escalation in tensions across the Middle East has taken a dramatic turn, as Iran has seized two cargo vessels in the region. Iran has detained two cargo vessels in the Strait of Hormuz for allegedly attempting to pass through undetected and breach maritime regulations. The ships, identified as the MSC Francesca and the Epaminondas, operate under the MSC shipping line. According to Iranian authorities, the vessels were intercepted by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) Navy and escorted into Iranian territorial waters. Iran's semi-official Mehr news agency reported that Tehran accused the ships of interfering with navigation systems and endangering other vessels in the waterway. The incident has raised concerns about Iran's continued control over the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global energy supplies. The detention comes amid ongoing tensions between Iran and Western powers, particularly the United States and Israel. Since February 28, Tehran has maintained control of the strait, following an American naval blockade on April 13. This blockade has had significant implications for global energy markets, particularly in Asia. The incident also highlights the complex web of alliances and rivalries in the region. The involvement of Israeli forces is seen as a major concern, given Iran's long-standing hostility towards Israel. The detention of these two cargo vessels could be seen as an escalation of tensions between Iran and its regional adversaries. As the situation continues to unfold, analysts will be watching closely for any further developments that may impact global energy markets and regional stability. As tensions escalate over global energy security, the significance of Iran's control over the strategic waterway is becoming increasingly clear. Iran's threat to close the Hormuz Strait remains a pressing concern for global energy markets and international relations. The statement in Inqilab Square, echoing President Ebrahim Raisi's previous warnings, signals Iran's determination to limit its adversaries' access to the vital waterway. The Hormuz Strait, a 30-mile wide passage between Iran and Oman, connects the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea, making it a critical route for oil exports from the Middle East. The strait is used by over 20% of global oil shipments, with the United States relying on it to access its own energy supplies. Tensions have escalated following the U.S. withdrawal from the 2015 Iran nuclear deal and reimposition of sanctions. In response, Iran has increased its naval presence in the region and threatened to close the strait if its demands are not met. The stakes are high for the global economy, as a disruption to oil supplies could lead to significant price increases and economic instability. The US and European powers have urged calm, emphasizing the importance of maintaining free trade routes, but Iran's actions suggest it is willing to take drastic measures to assert its influence. The situation is further complicated by rising tensions between Israel and Iran in the region, with both countries accusing each other of supporting proxy forces in Syria and Yemen. The conflict could spill over into the wider Middle East, potentially drawing in more countries and exacerbating the crisis. U.S. diplomatic efforts take a significant turn as envoys prepare to travel to Islamabad amid stalled talks with Iran and rising tensions in the region. U.S. envoys are set to travel to Islamabad on Saturday in a bid to revive ceasefire talks with Iran, despite Tehran's rejection of direct negotiations with U.S. representatives. The latest effort comes as an indefinite ceasefire has paused most fighting between the two nations, but the economic fallout is still mounting. Global energy shipments have been disrupted by the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which has had significant implications for global markets. According to reports, a team of U.S. envoys will meet with Pakistani officials in Islamabad to explore potential avenues for talks with Iran. The visit marks a new attempt to broker a deal that could lead to a more sustainable ceasefire. Iran's top diplomat, Mohammad Javad Zarif, arrived in Islamabad on Tuesday as part of a regional tour. During his meeting with Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, Zarif reiterated Tehran's stance on direct negotiations with the U.S. "We will not negotiate with America directly," Zarif said. "Any talks should be mediated by third parties." The United States has long sought to engage in direct talks with Iran, but so far, Tehran has refused. This latest development suggests that the U.S. may need to explore alternative channels for communication. The stalemate over Iran's nuclear program and regional conflicts has had far-reaching implications for global security and economic stability. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz has disrupted oil shipments worth billions of dollars, causing significant price volatility in the global market. As diplomatic tensions ease slightly, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has announced his readiness to engage in talks with Russian leader Vladimir Putin in a neutral location. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has announced that he is ready to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in a third meeting in Azerbaijan. The two leaders first met in June 2022 at the G7 summit in Germany, and their second meeting took place in May 2023 at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. According to reports, Zelenskyy's request for a meeting with Putin comes as tensions between Ukraine and Russia remain high. The conflict between the two countries has been ongoing since 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine. More recently, fighting broke out in eastern Ukraine, leading to thousands of civilian deaths and widespread destruction. Zelenskyy's decision to meet with Putin in Azerbaijan is seen as a significant development in efforts to find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The Ukrainian president has stated that he wants to discuss ways to stabilize the situation on the Ukraine-Russia border and to improve relations between the two countries. The meeting is also seen as an opportunity for Zelenskyy to push back against Russian aggression and to seek support from Western allies. Ukraine has been seeking increased military aid and economic support from the West in its fight against Russia, and the meeting with Putin could provide a chance for Zelenskyy to discuss these issues. Azerbaijan, which hosts the two leaders, has played host to several high-level meetings between Ukrainian and Russian officials in recent years. The country's location on the border of Eastern Europe and Western Asia makes it an important hub for diplomatic efforts aimed at resolving the Ukraine-Russia conflict. We now turn to Ukraine, where a devastating wave of aerial bombardment has struck the capital city, Kyiv, in one of the war's most intense assaults. The situation in Ukraine has taken a grave turn as Russian forces launched a devastating attack on the country's capital city of Kyiv, leaving at least 4 people dead and over 30 wounded. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, the attack involved more than 660 drones and 47 missiles being fired from Russia. Eyewitnesses report that the attack started in the early hours of Saturday morning, with reports of explosions and gunfire echoing across the city. The Royal Air Force scrambled 2 jets to respond to the threat, while Romanian Air Defense scrambled Eurofighter Typhoon fighter jets to monitor the situation from the air. Meanwhile, in a separate development, Ukraine has sacked a military commander after images of severely undernourished frontline soldiers sparked outrage across the country. The photos, shared by the wife of one of the servicemen, showed troops with visible rib cages and extreme weight loss after months on the front in the Kharkiv region. The situation highlights the dire humanitarian crisis unfolding in Ukraine, where civilians are bearing the brunt of the conflict. The attack on Kyiv is a stark reminder of the risks faced by ordinary people caught in the crossfire between Russian and Ukrainian forces. It matters because this latest escalation increases tensions in Europe and raises concerns about the potential for further attacks on civilian targets. The international community will be watching closely as the situation unfolds, with leaders from NATO countries expected to convene an emergency meeting to discuss the crisis. That's all for today's news recap. We'll continue to monitor the situation in the Middle East, particularly in the Strait of Hormuz, where Iran has seized 2 cargo vessels. Stay tuned for updates on U.S.-Iran relations and the ongoing Ukraine-Russia conflict. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to stay informed about global events, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. We'll see you in the next video.